everyone, and welcome to a bit of a chatty Q&A. I'm doing something different today. I'm obviously filming on a different camera with a mini microphone, but I'm also in my garden, in the egg chair, in my cozy Taylor Swift jumper. I just thought this would be a nice way to film this video and see what this camera looks and sounds like. And to be honest, if it's a complete flop and you don't like it, we won't do it again. But I can't ever grow as a content creator or give you different things and make it interesting if I don't at least try. So I thought, you know what, let's just come sit out in the garden. And for those of you that have been around for over 13 years, you may remember I used to film some of my very first videos were from my mum's garden when I used to live at home. For me, it's really nostalgic to sit in the garden with the sun and just film a vlog. But my neighbours are drilling. I live by an airport. I live by a road. It is so loud. So I thought this little mini mic might help us. You may hear and pick up some background sounds. I'm really hoping not, but I asked for questions for a Q&A and I thought we could go through what you asked me. So this video is going up on the first day back after I've had a little bit of a break. So I just want to say thank you so much for giving me a little bit of space. Last week, as you're watching this, I would have not uploaded, edited or filmed anything. So I'm pre-filming this on a Friday. Today's my last work day before I give myself a week off. So I'm really excited about it. How are you doing these days? It feels like you found your stride again. Thank you. I feel like I found my stride again. Yeah, I feel a lot more confident, happier. It's been a real emotional roller coaster this year. I've had some like extreme highs and extreme lows. I've been working massively on myself over the last few months. Since the beginning of August, when we came back from the road trip, I made a decision to sort of focus on healthy habits and mindset and emotions and physically moving my body a bit more. Been going on lots of walks. I went to an aquafit class today, which was really fun. Benj and I are in a really great rhythm of working together. Benji was obviously unwell, then he had open heart surgery, then he recovered, now he's fully recovered and he works with me. And a lot of people have asked, like, what does Benji do and how do our days look? But honestly, every week is very different. Benji takes over all of the house stuff now, so he does all the home, like cooking, cleaning, anything to do with the house he does. And so that gives me more time to make more content, which is a really interesting shift and dynamic, I think. It's not always like that every day. So he does mostly house stuff, but then I might need him to come and help me film something. So this week, for example, we filmed an ad for Wild deodorant. We had to drive to a specific store, which was about 45 minutes away. And to do that, I needed him to drive for me so I could work on the way. Then we filmed the whole video, which took about an hour. Then we sat outside the store and I edited while he waited for me while I edited. And then we got any extra clips that we thought we were missing or needed. And then we went and filmed a HomeSense and TK Maxx haul, vlog and haul. So that was like a whole day of filming. So he wasn't doing any like house stuff then. He was just behind the scenes supporting me filming. Actually, that video, by the way, that we filmed will be coming your way on Thursday. But yeah, that's sort of where we're at. We're finding our feet. It's going really well. I'm very happy. I'm very content. How will you be protecting yourself from burnout in the future? You're important to us. This is a very good question and is something I should be thinking about a little bit more. So my first instinct to answer that question is certainly saying yes or no to more things or being more selective on what I say yes to. Give myself days off and be a bit more strict on breaks. So having full days where I'm not editing or filming or uploading something. Weekends just don't really exist in this house because there are moments where I have to film or we have a schedule or deadline or something comes up. Next weekend we're at an event which is on a Sunday, so can't help that. But yeah, just to think, trying to schedule time and more me time, like today going to an aqua class. Aquafit was so nice. Also, I'm getting better at delegating more things to Benj, and he is just amazing. He's such an incredible, supportive husband. I think that's going to help without me feeling like I'm taking on too much. So recently, for example, our mortgage is due for renewal. I normally do all the admin and paperwork for stuff like that, but I said to him, could you take that over? Because I don't have the brain power for that right now. I've got too many other work things that need my attention and he can do that. So yeah, that's how I'm trying to protect myself from burnout. What have you done lately to switch off, relax and do things that make your heart happy? This is also a really nice question, thought leaded on to those sort of points, but I have been colouring. I talked about this a little bit on Instagram and I showed it in my last home vlog, but I've been doing some colouring in the evenings, which is so relaxing. I find it so therapeutic. I've been reading a lot. I've been spending a lot of quality time with friends and I made a new friend. You'll be pleased to know if you watched my last catch-up video, I hung out with my friend from Bumble BFF, which is kind of like Tinder for friends. Her schedule is similar to mine, so she has a bit of flexibility so we can meet up in the day, which I know is a huge luxury. But when I work such crazy weird hours sometimes, it's really nice to just go for a coffee with someone at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. And it's one of the huge perks to being self-employed, and it's something that I love that I can do. So having a friend that sort of wants to do that with me is great, and she's lovely, so I'm very excited to see her again and continue that friendship. But yeah, hanging out with friends, new and old. I joined a new gym and I've been going to this new class, and that's sort of been working quite nicely for me, and taking a full week off work. How do you motivate yourself in day-to-day life? I am quite a driven person. I feel like motivation comes pretty naturally to me because I really love my job and I love getting up each day to do new things. And one of the best things about this job is that every day can be different. I have so many different projects and different opportunities that come through and land on my desk. I set myself goals each day. I write down a to-do list. My to-do list looks very different each day. I try and start my day with a walk, a nice breakfast, doing something mindful, writing in my gratitude journal, doing a little at-home workout, and that just sets me up, because if I start the day on a good note in terms of like something for my well-being, eating something yummy, etc., getting myself in that headspace immediately as the day begins is how I get motivated. And if I don't, and I stay in my pajamas, I haven't had a shower, and I don't have a nice healthy breakfast, then I'm going to feel sluggish. What a surprise. Another question about motivation, but this one's about work. So this one says, how did you keep your motivation with YouTube through the low times? I have never felt unmotivated to make a YouTube video. Like, I've always loved getting the camera out and chit-chatting. But there are times where you just don't want to show up, or it feels really invasive and people are really mean. And those times can be quite low, I guess. I try and give myself a bit of space, come back when I'm in a better mindset. And if I'm still not there and it's taking a while, I have a catch-up call with my coach, Laura, and we go through ideas to see that what kind of thing interests me. I will speak to friends and hear about what they're doing. I'll watch other YouTubers to see like what I enjoy watching, because then that motivates me to want to make similar videos. I throw in a couple of questions that maybe people don't know the answer to if you are new around here. So one was, how did you meet your husband? And the short answer is, I met him on Tinder 7 years ago. We went on a first date in February 2017. He bought flowers on the first date. He drove me to the restaurant that he booked and picked. He opened, like pulled out a chair for me, all of the gentlemanly things. I knew immediately he was the one from all of these nice actions, his smile, the way he made me laugh. We sung Disney songs in the car on the way to the restaurant. We sung A Whole New World from Aladdin. I went for drinks at a bar called Aruba on Bournemouth Pier. We had our first kiss outside under the heaters with the sea and the stars. It was so romantic and beautiful. And then the rest is history. Top 3 I'm a wife now moments since getting married. That's so cute. It's mostly been when Benji has called me his wife, or I have said my husband. I'm still not over calling him my husband. I'll refer to him in like group settings, or like if I meet somebody new, it still gives me like this little like tingly butterfly feeling, like how nice is that to call him my husband. I got really excited about calling him fiance though as well. Like each stage has been really nice. He'll say hi wife and I'll say hi husband. So yeah, we're very much still, you know, everyone talks about like when you get engaged you have like an engagement bubble. No one told me that there's like a wedding bubble, that after you get married there's this really lovely feeling of like we're so connected and we've made these amazing beautiful vows and we kind of leveled up our relationship and here we are. It's really magic. I feel like I'm in a wedding bubble. There were wedding blues in terms of I can't believe it's all over and what we're going to do now, but there's still a wedding bubble. Like the aftermath of that is still so nice. Yeah, there's been lots of moments. Do you know what you want to do for your 1 year anniversary? Yes, we do. We are going to be doing a little trip. We haven't decided if we're going to keep it private and maybe not vlog it and just have a private holiday, because we're going to Walt Disney World at the end of January and we'll be filming Disney vlogs for you, and they'll be going out while it's our wedding anniversary. So we may take a sneaky little trip somewhere private and quiet and just to enjoy time without being on camera. I'll let you know close to the time where we go and what we do, but we've got a couple of ideas. What were yours and Benji's previous jobs before YouTube? So Benji's easy. He's only ever had one job. For over a decade, but he was an electrician, and I have done a lot of jobs. I actually made a video a long time ago. I don't think it's public anymore. I think I privated it, but I could remake it if you'd love me to do a story time on all the different jobs I've had, because they're quite interesting. But my last full-time job was marketing manager, and I freelanced as a social media manager. And then I had a crossroads moment where my boss basically said, I need you to come work for me full-time. I basically declined the opportunity to come on full-time because I desperately wanted to make my YouTube channel a thing. Still can't believe it sometimes. I've been on YouTube 13 years, but I've been doing this full-time for about 5 or 6. Something like that. How do you deal with pressure that you should be achieving certain things at a certain age? I do feel like generally there is pressure to do certain things at certain ages. Like, no doubt I felt that when it was time to make a choice if I want to go to university, and then when we were wanting to buy a house, and then deciding when we were getting married, like all those big life things. I am so content in my life choices and the way my life has gone that I don't feel that pressure. Like, I'm just in my own little bubble. Oh my God, is that a squirrel? Oh my God, that's a squirrel. Hello, buddy. Oh my God, that made my heart rate go. Sorry, it's so relaxing here. I think you have to ask yourself where that pressure is coming from. Do you really care about society's expectations of you? Like, are you doing things for you, or because you think people think you should be doing them? And I felt like that when we were making the choice to elope. So much pressure to have a wedding day, and both of us looked at each other and went, what do we actually want? Like, if money was no object, or like we could plan our dream thing, what would it be? And when we started asking ourselves those questions and actually following through with the answers, the pressure just suddenly went off, because the only people that matter are us. Similar question. I turned 31 this month. With getting older, do you feel the pressure to start a family? And I just want to say thank you for asking this question in this way, because we were absolutely inundated with questions about children, when we want them, if we want them. And it's a very difficult question to ask someone these days, because you just never know what someone's going through. Whatever answer I give, I'm aware that it could backfire on me if I choose to change my mind either way. So right now, I can tell you that our plan, at least for the next 5 years, is we want to travel a lot. We have no plans to try for children or have them. I'm very content with the children I have in my life. So yeah, the answer to that is we don't feel the pressure to start a family because we're just not ready. We don't want to. It's not in our plans. This is a great question because I've been so excited to talk to you about this. So what's your next big trip that you have planned? I did tease this already in the catch-up video a couple of weeks ago, but we are going to the Maldives. Can you believe we're going to the Maldives? I have been wanting to go to the Maldives ever since my mum first went a few years ago. She's been, I think, 3 or 4 times, and I've really, really wanted to go. And it would have been our second choice as a honeymoon option if we didn't do what we did. We have basically been talking to a company that have amazing resorts, and they're going to send us there for 2 weeks. We're going to be staying in an overwater bungalow for week 1, and then a beach room with a pool for week 2. But not just that, they would like us to do lots of activities and showcase that the Maldives isn't just sort of like sitting on a sun lounger. We were really excited about this because Benji can't sit still. He has to be doing things. He likes sitting still and sitting on a sun lounger reading a book for a certain time, which we will do. But they told us that they do so many different activities, and we're waiting for the itinerary, but we have been talking to them about the kind of things that we would love to experience. So I'm hoping that you'll enjoy seeing our Maldives videos. I'm so excited. We go at the end of October. The countdown is on. It's like 3-4 weeks away as you see this video. I'm so grateful for all the opportunities I get that come my way. And I remember my first press trips, and when I did my first cruise, and when I did sailing with med sailors, and as I've got older and I've done these different experiences at different stages of my life, I just feel so, so lucky. And it feels like a huge privilege to be able to travel. But not just that, documenting and sharing it with you guys is just the most wonderful thing. So yeah, we're very excited about the Maldives. When's your next Disney trip? I have talked about this, but we are heading to Walt Disney World at the end of January for 2 weeks. We're staying on property. We're doing the dining plan. We haven't done Tron or Tiana's, so we've got quite a few new things to experience, and we'll be filming the whole thing. We're also going to be going to Universal. I'm hoping to maybe stay overnight at Universal as well, just to see what that's like halfway through our trip. But we're doing 2 weeks this time. We did 10 days last time. We're doing 2 full weeks, and I'm so excited. What are you most looking forward to on your next next Disney trip. I'm most looking forward to Tron as a ride. I'd like to do a new restaurant or two. And I'm looking forward to making new vlogs. Because making the vlogs is like half the fun, to be honest. Things we have to do in Disney Florida for first timers. Gideon's Cookies, Gideon's Bakehouse in Disney Springs is amazing. The cookies are the best in the whole world and I've been dreaming of them ever since. That's going to be one of the first things I'm going to make Benj go and do with me is get some Gideon's Cookies. The cheeseburger spring rolls in Magic Kingdom from the little spring roll cart. You'll find it easily. They're amazing. You mustn't miss Guardians because I think it's one of my new favourite rides. Cosmic Rewind ride in Epcot is amazing. And all of Pandora. And I think Pandora at night should be a must do because you have to see it all lit up. Do the Skyliner too. You can get on the Skyliner and go from Epcot to Hollywood Studios or to one of the resorts. And if you can get a reservation, I think Topolino's Terrace is incredible for breakfast with the characters. God, I could really make a whole video about that, couldn't I? Let me know if you'd like a whole video on my must-dos. Are you considering a Disney cruise? Yes, we are. To me, my Disney parks trips are very high energy, characters, Disney, Disney, Disney. And then when I go on a cruise, it's more sort of like getting dressed up for black tie and going for lovely like date night dinners and seeing a theatre show. And I really like that they're different. To me, they feel like very different holidays. And I know that combining my two loves is probably going to be something I'll absolutely adore, but it's just not been something that we have prioritized. Disney Cruise Line sail to somewhere that is hugely on my bucket list. And I'm not going to share where, but I'm thinking maybe around September next year, doing something really epic that I've not seen a lot of people vlog. Watch this space. Yes, we would like to do a Disney cruise. I just don't know what that looks like just yet. Would you ever do a road trip around somewhere in Europe? And if so, where? Yes, we have got so many ideas. We're firstly thinking driving to the slopes for skiing, and we may stop somewhere on the way back. So that's like a mini road trip. We also really want to do Italy, but I don't know how that looks either, whether we do that in our own car or hire a car. We also have discussed at some point in the future a motorhome style trip where we go around France and Spain and Portugal. So yeah, there's definitely a few places we would love to road trip because that's such a great way to just bop, bop, bop. I've really fallen in love with this sort of road trip style of holiday or being able to do several things in one trip. I think that's why I love cruising so much because I can just bop, bop, bop. So yeah, we will at some point. If anyone's got any great ideas or recommendations, let me know. What are your top 3 bucket list travel destinations you still haven't done? Well, Maldives was on there. Maldives, Canada, Japan, Switzerland, obviously all the Disney parks we haven't done. So we need to Shanghai and Tokyo. Oh, we want to go back to New Zealand, but we have already done that, so that doesn't count in her question. Canada's my biggest one though. Whistler, Lake Louise, Banff, Vancouver, and go up to Alaska as well. Do you have plans for Benji's 30th? Yes, I asked Benji what he wanted to do because it's actually not long after we come back from the Maldives. I said to him, like, it's your 30th, like, what are we going to do on the actual day? Like, you know, and he said he just wanted to go to a nice hotel with a spa. So I've booked that. I've booked a really lovely local hotel. We're not going far at all. And it has a very gorgeous spa. I'm not going to share where just yet, but we may sort of share pictures and stuff close to the time. His birthday's not until November. His 30th. Apart from travel, do you have any bucket list things you would like to do, big or small? I think the biggest bucket list thing we have right now is just giving the house a complete makeover. Can I add getting another dog on a bucket list of things I want to do? I would like to write a book one day, but I need to do a lot of work if I want to write a book. I know it's probably difficult, but your favourite book or book you would read time and time again? They're all so different. I think the one that springs to mind is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I just love that book so much because it changed the game for me when it came to reading. It was one of the earlier books that I read in my reading journey, and I got my mum to read it and she doesn't read anything. It was just so gripping and I enjoyed it so much and I could easily read that again. Also, what books are you reading right now? I'm currently reading the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I read the first one called Flawless. I gave it a 3-star. It was good, not great. I'm now on the second one, which is called Heartless. I'm 20% in at the moment, but I've probably already finished it by the time you see this video, and I'll be on to the third one. They're small town cowboy romance novels. They are very easy to read, very light, full of a load of smut, if you like that kind of thing. The first one I didn't actually love that much. I thought it was very like bit meh, but everyone's told me the rest of them are much better. So I'm continuing. Do you plan to get any more tattoos? No, I don't. The one I got means a lot to me. Not that tattoos have to have a meaning. I don't agree with that. My brother has loads of tattoos and a lot of them don't have meanings, I don't think. Or maybe they all do and I don't know, but he has a lot of different ones and I've never looked at them and thought they had to have meanings. But for me, the tattoo was a really healing part of the grieving process for me. Having Bonnie on my arm, I've got like little paw prints here if you don't know already. I'll put a picture up actually so you can see. I love it. I have no regrets. I see it every single day and I think of her every time I look at it. In my head, I would quite like a matching tattoo with Benj at some point, or my mum. I've got this vision of like something cute that matches, but I'm not sure. I'm in no rush. When the timing feels right, maybe, but not right now. Never say never. Top 5 musicals you have seen. So I asked about musicals the other day and a lot of you said you wanted me to share my top ones. My top 5 are Frozen, Aladdin, Newsies, they're all Disney at the top, what a surprise, Waitress and Hamilton. I think maybe Hamilton before Waitress. They're my favourites. I also really love Heathers, Legally Blonde, Wicked, Mean Girls, The Little Big Things. Everybody's talking about Jamie, Lion King, Six, the musical, and Dear Evan Hansen. So I have 14 in my like top spots out of 46 that I've seen. What are your plans for Christmas this year? We are going skiing. We haven't booked it yet, but we found somewhere we like. So we're going to drive, I think, to the slopes and go skiing. Simple as. It's our first time we've been able to ski in 4 years because previously we had Bonnie and we weren't able to ski with her. Although I actually have found ski resorts that are dog friendly, which is epic. I actually would love to have a dog that I could take skiing with us. That'd be amazing. I have been filming for so long, so I'm going to end on these final questions. They are 3 things you've learned in the last 5 years that have changed you positively, and what have you learned about yourself this year? So I thought these were quite good questions. They're fairly similar. Throughout my whole 20s, I was so ambitious and eager to do things when I wanted them, and I get so frustrated when they weren't happening when I expected. And actually now I look back and see that things happened at the right time when they were meant to for me. I must trust the universe and my gut feelings and know that what's meant for me will come my way at the right time. I think I've learned a lot about how I show up for myself in whatever shape or form. It's nice to be in a place where I feel like I know myself. Even like embracing my naturally curly hair and going on this journey has been so nice to sort of like find myself, like my natural state and who I am at my core. And I know I'm a good person. I know I make mistakes and that's okay. But ultimately leaning into stuff that brings me joy, not feeling pressured to do what everyone expects of me and follow society's expectations has been very liberating. Sometimes uncomfortable to do things that are not familiar to you, like when I started volunteering or when you join a new gym class. You know, those things can feel a little bit like, well, I just won't do them because I don't know what to expect. But sometimes the hardest thing is actually just showing up for other people, for yourself, just the showing up and giving it a go. You'll never regret because you'll learn from it. If it's something you don't like, then you just won't do it again. But you might surprise yourself. I'm going to lean into that a bit more over these next coming months and years. So that is pretty much the end. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you again later this week for that TK Maxx and Home Sense haul. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.